Hello, let's talk about a few quick tips in Python. So we'll talk about comments, using Python files, and getting help. So first of all, let's talk about comments. This line I've written here is a comment. Comments are very useful throughout all programming languages. The most basic way to use a comment in Python is to start it with this hashtag. And the idea of a comment is that the interpreter or Python itself won't see what's written in a comment. So for instance, I can do something like 2 plus 3 and then write some words here. And normally this would cause an error, but all Python will see is 2 plus 3. It won't see anything. It won't see this, this hashtag or pound symbol, and it won't see anything past it. So it will just print out 5 as normal. And this can be very useful when commenting in your code. There's another way to do block comments, but I'll show you that in just a moment. All right, next let's talk about .py files. So sometimes if we're just using Python as a calculator, it's fine to use the interpreter here or to check something quick. Sometimes you might have a rather long code, and if you make a mistake in entering it, you would have to start all over and enter in the commands again. So it's much more useful to save the commands into a .py file. So to do that, we can just go up here and click New. And I've got already up here a new window. Let me drag this down a little bit. It's kind of hard to grab. There we go. So I've got this this window here, and notice I have a line number. So I can type something here like 2 plus 3, and maybe a comment. And let's do something like x equals 5, and then print x. All right. So now I have not very interesting, but very short program here. I can save this. So we'll save it somewhere, maybe as test. I've already used test.py, so maybe I'll save it as test2.py. Save there, and then I can run this. So I can go up here to the green arrow, run current script, and it runs it down. I see the results down here in the command line, and now you start to see a little bit where, well, I guess I should have used a different number there. Let's see which one it's actually printing. If I change this to a 6, I can run the thing again. Sure enough, it's only printing the 6. So 2 plus 3 is calculated by Python, but it's not printed out. If I do 2 plus 3 in the command line will print it out. The interpreter there will print it out. But from within a script, I actually need to use some print functionality to print out the command. That's part of the why we use that. So this is a little bit of maybe a silly intro program, but let's see how we could do something where we might want several comments in a row. So I could write something like, for instance, it's nice to write something like, this is a program to print out hello world. So I want to give myself a reminder of what this program does. But of course, if I just run this, I'm going to get all kinds of errors because Python is trying to interpret the first line as a variable or something like that, or a command. It doesn't know what this line is. So I could, of course, put a comment there. Okay, and if I run it, it runs fine. Of course, nothing prints out because it's just commented. But I might want to say something like, created by Larios and created on, so and so on. I could put dates and maybe more information there. But sometimes it's kind of annoying to have each of these, having to start each of these with a hashtag. So there's a nicer way to do that, where I can use a block comment. So the way to do that is 3 double quotes and end them, something like this. So now this works exactly the same as we had before. It's just a block comment. So that's the other kind of comment I was talking about earlier, usually used in files rather than on the command line. And now, of course, I can do x is equal to 7 and print x. I guess we should do what it actually says to do. So we'll print x, and then we'll print in single quotes, hello world, like that. And if we run, we print out 7 and we print out hello world. Great. Created on, okay. So that's a little bit about comments and files. Sometimes we would like to know a little bit more about some of the functions we're using. So if we want to understand a little bit better what this print thing can do, we can use down here in the command line. I can type something like help and then the command I'm interested in. So help print. And if I do that, it tells me some information here. Earlier we had we were using some import commands. Let's drag this up a little bit. So if we have something like import numpy as np, then remember I can use things like np dot say sign to type, what is the sign of 3.14, something like this, or sign of np dot pi. There we go. So I can look at these various things. If I want to know more about what the sign function is doing, I can type help np.sign. And here it gives me some information about sign. This can be pretty useful sometimes. Notice that sign is not just this mathematical function sign, but there are all these other elements in here. For instance, maybe you would want to use angles. Then maybe it tells you about some related degrees instead of radians. It uses some related functions. It mentions those. It gives you some examples. And then even within these, for instance, plotting, which we'll talk about in the next video, I can get some information on that. So help plt dot. Well, I have to first use this command. So sometimes it's kind of nice because these are just printed and you can just copy paste them. Import matplotlib.pylab as plt, and then we can get some help about, for instance, if we wanted to know what some of the plotting options were, we could do, I'll just type it. It's not, sorry, ELT, there we go, dot plot. We have something like this, and it shows us how we can type, how we can use, say, different colors or different symbols in our plots. Again, we'll cover plots in the next video. But that's all I wanted to say for now about comments, files, and help. Thanks for your attention.